No problem. No problem. You got this.
We totally got this. You got more stuff than we do, man.
You guys keep putting all your stuff on me.
Oh, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
I think we got like 2 cameras, you know.
We're at the base of the captain.
What's today?
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
Saturday, December 27th.
From the very beginning, 2-3 years prior to the climb, I recognized that this climb could be something that people could relate to in general, and that the world would cheer them on if they got high enough on the climb and eventually pulled it off. I've known Kevin Jorgensen for 5 years or more from his experiences and his high ball climbing in the Bishop area. Maybe 3 years ago, we put together a plan to bring Kevin on as a Adidas athlete.
So we came up with the idea of 2 years ago in the year 2013, a year before they actually did the big push, to come up with a way to do daily social media posts. We really wanted to do a whole webisode series, and we just started posting them daily. It was really fun for people to actually see live what was going on there. So when it came to them deciding to do the push in 2014, we'd already had all that experience. And we knew we definitely wanted to do it live.
The story was essentially a climbing story. 2 climbers go up on a rock and they overcome the obstacles. But at some point, it became a story more of 2 people working together, overcoming all the obstacles, overcoming all the naysayers and disbelief, and then pulling it together to create a climb that's unmatched in the world, the hardest rock climb ever done. As the media picked up on the event and it became more of a worldwide story, Chris Goddard was managing this all from the East Coast and gave me a call in my hotel room at about 3 o'clock in the morning in Germany and said, "This is exploding. We need to get on top of this." And we both decided right then, jump on a plane, go to Yosemite tonight.
This story was so big, we had every single news story, every single morning show involved. Today's Show, the Weather Channel, Good Morning America, CBS This Morning, Sam Champion, and it got to a point where there were bidding wars for the story. People were offering large sums of cash for us to work with their morning show as opposed to another morning show. And it actually culminated with the discussion in the Yosemite cafeteria, where we had one producer from Good Morning America, one producer from the Today Show, and then we also had the park rangers who were involved because this was their turf. And it got to a point where I finally had to stand up and say, you guys have got to get your act together. Because if you're not gonna play nice, we're gonna take the story off the park grounds and it'll make our lives much easier. So please, put your big boy pants on, be adults, make our lives easier. We're trying to help you. And the long and the short of it is that they agreed to work together, and so we had all 3 morning shows covering the story, but it was not without a lot of angst. But what that tells me is that this story was huge beyond anything that we could have imagined at this point. But we were on the ground from the beginning to manage that. And had we not been there to manage it, I firmly believe it would not have gotten as big as it did.
I, like the entire world, was watching you try to accomplish it, and I just thought, why? I really thought, what makes somebody want to, take such a risk of holding on with tiny little fingertips?
We loved the whole project. We loved the idea of what they were doing, and excited the fact that we had really built this unbelievable social extravaganza of stuff happening.
There's all these elements that every human can relate to. Dreaming big, persevering, committing to something, teamwork. I hope people find their own DawnWall and just use it as an example of what you can do.
What I think is kind of interesting is that just the idea that a small group of people here sat down and decided to document this climb turned it into the story that it became.
Call the hardest free climb on Earth, El Capitan's infamous DawnWall.
Kevin points out on Twitter the effort was not to conquer the DawnWall. It was about realizing a dream.
So for the Adidas outdoor brand in general, the DawnWall project that we put together brought in over 34 billion impressions. And that amount of coverage is equal to about $2 billion in media value. It's staggering, the reach and the depth that we were able to achieve.
Over the last 19 days, it all came together to make rock climbing history.
Imagine looking up at a mountain that's as tall as 3 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other.
The whole world was watching, and we were able to bring the story to the world, which would not have been brought to the world if we hadn't been there early on and put in the hours and time when no one else was around.
So how did they conquer the unclimbable wall?
Welcome back. Champagne and flowers. That is how 2 Americans celebrated making history.
You remind us that anything is possible
for a pair of rock climbers who made history with the world watching.